Cold gang. First round draft pick. Welcome to another episode of Cold Gang. I'm your host, Isaiah Dotson. I'm here with my co-host, Malcolm Bennell. And today we bring in a certified sports head, my cousin, Marcus Bennell, a.k.a. Guru the Don. When it comes to sports knowledge, analysis, and straight-up passion for the game, he top tier, whether it's NBA, NFL, barbershop debates. Man, Guru bringing that heat. He here to weigh in on Indiana's shot, on Indiana title shot. Man, so let's get ready for some bold takes, sharp insights, and maybe a little trolling too, man. We're going to see what's happening, man. But today we got a special Pacers Conference Finals, Eastern Conference Final Champions, NBA Finals, bound special edition, man. What's happening with it, cuz? How you feeling? How y'all feeling, man? Talk to me, Big Dog. How you feeling, cuz? I didn't get a chance to put my eyes on the game because I was at a concert. I had to score up the whole time, man. I need you to tell me, cuz, what you see, man? Tell me, talk me through it.
Man, a whole lot of what we've been talking about, cuz. I mean, it was, I know we kind of talked about it last night because it was just a step so from beginning to end. The Pacers understood the assignment and went out there and handled business. Man, did Andrew Nembhard just put the clamps on Jalen Brunson? Did he? I mean, God, I don't know if you've seen the highlights, cuz, but he had that boy running. It was to the point where down the stretch he was so mad at Nembhard, he headbutted him, cuz. I'm like, damn, like they got to fine Brunson or something for that, man. Like, you can't just be out here headbutting, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy, but
that is playoff basketball, man. The unspoken rule of basketball, what's unnoticed is what's unnoticed. So once you play like that, it's like backyard basketball, man. Playground basketball, that's what you want to see in the playoffs. But I can tell you one thing, that Miles Turner was in foul trouble all night and we still got it done. So that goes to show you something, that the Pacers are deep and they can play any type of rotation, whether it's small ball, we can run with you, whether it's, big man ball, we can run with you. So, I mean, they got the key. But the key to that game was, man, when Tyrese had that ball, he knew what to do. He knew how to come off that pick and roll. He knew how to dribble drive and make the right play off the basket. It was one time in the fourth quarter where he just had 4 buckets in a row by himself.
Back to back.
Whether it was scoring in the paint, dribble hand off to somebody else, man, it was just crazy. And that's what we needed to see from him. And he showed it countless times in that series and all throughout the playoffs. So it's nothing new to me, man. The Pacers, I feel like, they was at where they was at last year. They came up short a little bit last year, but they got to it. They got it. They stamped it this year. And it's on to the next round, right?
Yeah, Hallie definitely took over in that fourth quarter, and it was a beauty, cuz it was something beautiful to see. Hallie took over, and like I said, they was asking me who was the unsung hero of that game. I'm like, Andrew Nembhard, but cuz the Thomas Bryant, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang. Sometimes you think about Rick Carlisle, man, what is this dude doing? Throwing Tony Bradley out there out of nowhere, and but Thomas Bryant came alive right in the moments, cuz he came and hit 2 big threes, playing some good defense, had a good block. I think they ended up calling a foul on his block, but man, the Pacers is deep, cuz, and that's why I don't know. I don't think this okay. We'll talk about it, but this OKC series is not going to be as easy as what everybody on the internet and on the sports world is making it out to be. I just don't think people really watch the Pacers like that.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. I'm gonna say like this, cuz this is my thoughts. Before I move on to OKC. I need to say some things about the New York Knicks.
Please.
First of all, it's official. Y'all can't mess with us. If you didn't know then, you know now. We are on a different level. We beat y'all 4 times in a row in the playoff series. We beat y'all in 2000, 2013, 2024, now 2025. Straight. That's a sweep. Y'all will never be able to touch the Pacers. They were talking about calling the National Guard in if y'all win. That's a fantasy. Call the National Guard in and call the ambulance because y'all head's leaking on the streets. We bust our head again. Y'all can have all the celebrities. Y'all can have that. We don't care about none of that because we going to come to New York and wipe y'all down every time. That's the known fact. We know that now, right? We understand that. All the Knicks fans that was on TikTok trolling, commenting on all them statuses, y'all should understand we're on a different level. I don't want to hear nothing else from y'all. Nothing. Forever shut your mouth. Y'all poverty franchise. I'm sorry. Are we done with the trolling?
But as a Knicks fan, so now as a Knicks fan, and I know you're not a Knicks fan, so I know it's hard for you to say this, but do you root against the Pacers or do you root for the Pacers at this point? Because it's like, if I get knocked off, like last year, the Pacers lost. We got swept in the Eastern Conference Finals, but we got swept and lost by the NBA champions. So now it's like, okay, as a Knicks fan, do I say you really probably want the Pacers to go ahead and win it all? Because now you can say, hey, we fought it out, but we fought it out with the NBA champs. Like so now it's either we lost to the NBA champs. If the Pacers lose, then we just lost to the Pacers. So that's
word around town is
Right.
going to be a boring NBA finals. That's what they saying now. Oh, nobody's going to watch the finals. It's boring. Well, y'all want to see the sad Knicks in there? The Knicks,
right.
y'all want the Knicks fans want to see the Knicks? Y'all trash. I don't want to see a team that can't go past the East.
Never. And you know what, man? We've been, like you said, we've been stamping the Knicks for, what you say, 25 plus years, every series. You know what I'm saying? And then just go back to basketball, man. They just not deep enough and they just not talented enough to compete with the Pacers on both ends of the court, man. They just not. It's just, it's hard to play, 16 straight basketball games every other day, 40 minutes plus with 5 people, maybe 7 people. Deuce McBride, Mitchell Robinson, you know what I'm saying? But it just goes to show you, man, we just too deep in, we got as much talent as them, if not even more.
Absolutely. Let's squash another narrative while we here. Is Tyrese Haliburton a superstar?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt
There's
about
no
that.
doubt about that.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Even if you're not a Pacers fan, if you just go back to the time before him and what's been, of course, we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. We made it to but when it go to Tyrese Halliburton and the game changing player that he is offensively and knows how to take over a game. That mean when you talk to superstars, they take over games, right? It's just no, everybody knows what's gonna happen. We gonna give who the ball and they gonna go to work, make it happen, score a bucket, facilitate, make the right play, right? And he checks all the superstar boxes, man. If you can't see it, then you just don't know basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I think what Stephen A. Smith was kind of throwing out there, I know because that's kind of what we alluded to, him talking down on Halliburton. As people are so caught up in this scorer, you know what I'm saying? Like the name of the game is buckets. Yes, absolutely. The name of the game is buckets. But I said this earlier, when you have a superstar centric offense or a player centric offense, we've seen that with the Bucks. We've seen that with the Cavaliers, and then we've seen it with the Knicks. Like that Rick Carlisle and OKC, these coaches, they are putting that style of that era of basketball to rest. Like it's cyclical. Everything's a cyclical process. Everything goes back. There once was a time where team basketball, was king. And, then it went to, we went to the Kobe's, the Jordans, the LeBrons, where it was superstar centric. You had to give one player the ball, Carmelo Anthony, drop one player the ball, let him drop 40, 50, and let him beat you. But that 30 or 40 points don't matter no more. Because if you get 30, 40 points and you can't get Miles Bridges going, you can't get Deuce McBride going, you can't get all these, whoever, then what does that 30 or 40 matter? Donovan Mitchell averaged 40 during the Cavaliers Pacers series. That didn't matter because it's a team game. Like, I mean, just look at what Obi Toppin did last night. I mean, God, like Guru said, Miles Turner had to go down. Obi Toppin stepped in immaculately. Like, I mean, it was like there was absolutely no let off because it's team ball. And they talking about firing Tom Thibodeau now. They said Tom Thibodeau is the problem in New York, not Brunson, not Karl Anthony Towns, not none of them. They said it's Tom Thibodeau, and it's right because they don't have that system. Y'all player centric systems is not going to work, and that's why people don't really like Haliburton that much. Because even though Haliburton is our superstar, Pascal Siakam is our all-star, Tyrese Haliburton is our superstar, but it's not a Tyrese Haliburton centric team. It's we go 10 deep, like we said, so that style of basketball is over.
Holly got robbed on that Eastern Conference MVP. And that's a fact because the hate is real. We understand that, and the question was, is Tyrese Haliburton a superstar? He gets superstar hate because once
Yeah.
you a superstar, once you ascend to a certain level, the hate is going to come. People are going to doubt you. They're going to pray and wish on your downfall. That's what we see with Tyrese. The thing is, a new wave of basketball comes around every few years, right? It was the Batman and Robin, like Jordan Pippen. And then in the early 2010s came the big three. Now our wave is the power of friendship. That's a new wave now. Get you a strong 10, be deep and run through everything. So no, Tyrese Haliburton, he doesn't have to score 30 plus points a game for us to kill. What he is, he's the head of the snake, and he's choreographing this magical offense where everybody, all these moving parts, and he's up there putting it all together. He's leading it.
Right.
It's like a symphony, a sweet symphony.
Mhm.
41% from 3-point shooting. We built this team in last 2 years ago when we got that trade for Pascal Siakam. We needed a wing, a two-way wing defender. We knew our time was right now. Our championship window is right now. Let's go get a killer right now because is Tyrese Haliburton a Robin? No, he's a Batman. He's a leader, and we need to surround him with killers around him because our window is now. He's showing us. He's got the whole league on notice. All the disrespect is only fueling him. Putting him at the end of the bench on the Olympics, not playing him, is only fueled him. Coming out when he's overrated during the playoffs, it fueled him. And he just keeps coming back and killing cuz. So I'm just proud of Tyrese Haliburton, his ascension, and we got a real superstar on our hands. And he's only 25. So he's not going nowhere. Get used to seeing him in this position. He gonna keep talking that talk because he's real like that. He's real.
Yeah, he definitely got
He's
the
a real killer.
superstar persona. Yeah, he definitely got the superstar persona. I'm glad we got Pascal Siakam. You, like I said, for Bruce Brown. Coming off a championship with Denver, I understand where the Pacers was at with Bruce Brown, but we definitely got to steal in Pascal Siakam. Uh, and like you said, he's filled off that he hear it, man. He hear, like you said, underrated, overrated. You know what I'm saying? Be at the end of the bench. He hears that stuff, man. And superstars take over, and he's one of them because he took over, right? And now we in the NBA championship fight for it.
I see Coach Clark has a question. He said, "Here's my question: Devil's advocate, can Hallie create his own shot in the half court? If we need a bucket in the half court, is Siakam the guy?" Which I think.
We was actually just talking about this in the group chat. Let me see if I can pull up those messages. Because I just actually responded to this question. Um, so the thing is, okay, so we was just talking about this and talking about the ISO game and who's our ISO player. Siakam, yes, is our ISO player. He's our bucket for the Pacers. Siakam is our bucket when we need a bucket, and I won't even say crunch time, not even crunch time, but just through the flow of the game, you notice how much Siakam has to touch that ball. He doesn't have to, but when we need a bucket, we go to Siakam. Now, can Hallie create his own shot? That goes back to me saying, I think yes. I'm gonna say yes. He's not gonna sit there and mix you up. Allen Iverson, Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving mix you up. But I think he can create his own shot. But I don't think he needs to. I don't think that's his job. Like, I mean, he can when need be. As you can see, how many game winners he done hit, even with the bounce, and then the ball went in. He created his own shot on that play, but I don't think he needs to. He's like the engine, man. He keeps that thing running. If we need a bucket, we ISO up Pascal Siakam. If we need a bucket, we can get that through the offense. I think Siakam. I think you're absolutely right, Coach Clark. I think Siakam is our ISO bucket. If we just 10 seconds left on the shot clock, get the ball to Siakam and let him go to work. We'll live with whatever he puts up at the rim.
Yeah. In my opinion, of that question, yeah, Siakam, my ISO bucket, man. He gonna get it in the post up. He gonna back you down, fade away. He gonna dribble past you. He gonna dunk on you. But Haliburton, man, we didn't see him cross Giannis for game and get to the bucket. I didn't see him cross Haliburton on the right wing, step back three in his face, or Cat step back three in his face. So I mean, he gonna get them, man. In last quarter, if you just watch the highlights on YouTube, it's on YouTube. Just scroll to the fourth quarter. 3 minutes to go. He scored 4 buckets in a row. Wherever you want to get it, whether it's a floater, whether it's a mid-range step back, whether it's a layup, whether it's a three crossing you up step back. I mean, he all three level score.
He's definitely
Mm-hmm.
a 3 level scorer.
For sure, for sure. Coach Clark, great question. My response to that is we know he's a killer 1-on-1. We know he can get a bucket. Our biggest concern is he willing during the course of the game, not just at the end of the game, during the flow of the game, be willing to take these big shots because, like Guru said, he has proved that he can take and make these shots when we need a bucket. He's been proving that for 2-3 years now. And if we're just talking about the playoffs, we can go back to last year when he mixed Pat Bev up coming down the court in Milwaukee, mixed him up with the floater. If we want to go to this year, every series when we needed a bucket, he came through against the Bucks. We making that comeback. We needed a bucket at the end. He mixed up Giannis to the cup against the Cavs. He missed his free throw, got his own rebound, 1-on-1 with Jerome.
Oh, yeah.
Crossed the monkey mess out of him. Take that. Game time. And as again this last year against the Knicks. Came down full court. In and out. Getting right by Miles. Went right by Miles Bridges. Got 1-on-1 with Mitchell Robinson. Mixed him up. Cast him out over his head. Bing bong. He's proven time and time again he can get a bucket when he needs to. So I think that's not a concern. I think the more the concern is be willing to take those shots. We want to see you shoot the ball more. He's naturally a facilitator, and he wants to pass because he's really like that. He's in the mode of a Chris Paul, Jason Kidd. That's how, that's the vision he sees the court with. He's a next level visionary when it comes to passing. New age. He's the new prophet. He's official like that. But we want him to be aggressive because he can't score the ball. So he gets a ton of credit, but let's look at some other players on our team. We talk about Tyrese. We talk about Pascal. Let's talk about the way Andrew Nembhard bounced back that game 6 after having, not so good of a series. And how he put the clamps on Brunson for that last game. Let's talk about Aaron Nesmith, how he had the clamps on Brunson the first few games of the series. When we say the clamps, you're not going to completely shut down a player like Brunson. You're not going to shut him down, but what you can do is put your body on him and wear him to the end of the game. He's spent. And we've seen that countless times throughout this series. Them players were spent at the end of the game because we had a body on them. Hey, we got like 3-4 bodies we can throw at him. Nesmith, Nembhard, Obi Toppin off the bench, McConnell, he's a pest. I mean, Guru, what you think about the job Aaron Nesmith and Andrew Nembhard did?
Man, since game 1, you already know Aaron Nesmith, man, he didn't, 20 point fourth quarter cashing out. But you know what? Everybody talk about Haliburton, Pascal Siakam, like you said, but my favorite player, man, I'm gonna say it again, is Andrew Nembhard, man. Because his step back, I think he patented the step back now. Everybody say James Harden, Luka, whatever. But hey, that step back, that three, man, he got it. He really got it offensively, and like you said, put the clamps on him. So we got two, and you would think it'd be, Andrew, but Aaron. I be getting them confused, are you? But you would think it'd be him, but he put the clamps on him, man. Nembhard really did his thing last night. He could have been MVP of the night, like you said, Coach Clark. I see what you're saying, and I think he was, man, from what he was. And Thomas Bryant too. He don't get a lot of credit for last night, knocking down 3 consistent threes. But Bryant, yeah, we got a squad, man. McConnell coming in there getting a scrappy 8 points. Benedict Mathurin coming in there and drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line, getting the other team in foul trouble. We just got Walker coming in there again, blocks. Hey, running the floor, just playing everything. Obi Toppin coming in and sealing the deal with Jams, just getting everybody motivated and hyped up. The list goes on, man. The Pacers are a complete squad, and they exciting to watch.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's one more guy I want to talk about on this team, and he's our longest tenured Pacer. He's been with the city for, what has it been, 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
And he means as much to this team, as he means to the city, and as much as we love him, because he's a major part of our team, a major part of the city. Miles Turner. He was on the trade block for a long time, supposedly on the trade block. I ain't never believe it. I never thought we was going to get rid of our stretch five. But it was points in time where we thinking, wow, man, who's better between Sabonis and Miles? Who should we keep? But man, shout out to Kevin Pritchard in that front office because you made the right choice. You made the right decision. Hey, if you look at our history in the city, our GMs have a history of making the right choice. Hey, Bill Polian, he had a choice between Ryan Leaf and Peyton Manning. He chose right. He had another choice between Edgerrin James and Ricky Williams. He chose right. We had a choice between Sabonis and Miles Turner. I feel like we chose right. Because not only did we bring in Tyrese, but we kept our guy. We never traded him, Miles Turner. And now look, our starting five, our starting big man. He's bringing. We're going to the finals with him really as the only pure true center on the roster.
Oh yeah,
he got us on his back right now. Shout out Miles Turner, man. Thank you. Thank you for being the player that you are, because what you bring, we need it. We need the ability to stretch that floor. It spaces everything out. I wish a big man would sit up under that basket. We're going to cash him out. And he deserved it. 10 years, he's been through multiple different players. Like Paul George is who he started with, and then he transitioned to those Victor Oladipo years where he was getting knocked out by Bron and them. But we was making runs. We made a run with Vic and them, We had to experience that. We was always wondering, like, can Miles Turner be that big man that we need to advance in these playoffs? He showed it this year, man. Shout out Miles Turner, man. You get a standing ovation from me, straight up.
Yeah. Shout out Miles Turner, man, because I know, like you was mentioning, the old days where I talked to Indiana Pacer fans on the daily. They was ready to trade him, get him out of here, whatever the case may be. Probably behind closed doors, just a fan. This is from the fan perspective. But like you said, going back to Sabonis days, different type of players, man. Like playing styles, playing with Paul George is different, So, and you see where the Pacers are trying to go. Sabonis free throw line, back to the basket type player. Kenny Gel with Tyrese Haliburton, So they made the right choice, like you said. They made the right choice with Miles Turner, man, and he showed this year, man, that he is a true piece, not an X factor, a piece to the puzzle, man, and what they do on that court, man. So shout out in the defense, and I want to say the defense was never a problem with Miles Turner. We always knew he was an elite defensive player. That was his number one thing, but it just all came together, and he got him, like you said, Tyrese the back. Not to say it's all Tyrese, but because I'm gonna give Miles Turner his flowers, but yeah, he showed out this year, man. He's been balling on a consistent and elevated level than what he was.
I think with Miles Turner, cuz I think y'all both hit the hammer on the head. It's a beautiful thing to see us draft somebody and they just grow with us for 10 years. And the thing with Miles Turner is two things. When a couple years ago, when he was in those trade rumors, it was shocking to me to see how many teams really had that interest in Miles Turner. The Lakers, it was a lot of teams out there, Detroit, who really still want Miles Turner. And the thing is, people get mad at Miles because he's not your typical big. Everybody, and in this day and age, there's so many different types of bigs you can get. You got your Jokic type, you got your Mitchell Robinson type, your Cat types. There's so many different archetypes of bigs, but Miles Turner is good at what he does. I would love to see. I need to pull it up. I wish I would pull it up before the show, but I would love to see his 3-point percentage in the playoffs this year. Because man, every time Miles Turner shoots that ball, man, it's like I know it's a good chance it's going in. I'm talking about his threes, and he doesn't take a lot of threes, but he takes quality threes, and he knocks them down. And you gotta respect that when you're stretching the floor. Because now it's bringing your big out the paint, because you ain't gonna put no little guy on him. He's just gonna, abuse him. So I think we have great value out of Miles Turner, and much right deserving. He's going to these finals. So yeah, I think y'all both hit the nail on the head with that Miles Turner's take.
And like we said, he's been in the city, man. One thing before, I want to shout out the city. I want to shout out the fans that was showing up to them games, making it a real home court advantage, who was in the stands yelling and screaming. Oh man, shout out to my auntie, man. She was at the game. She went to a couple games. She was standing on business. And if you know my auntie, man, she's a very respectable woman. And when she goes to that game, she gets outside her body, and I'm sure that symbolizes a lot of fans across, that was in there, because everybody was out their body in that stadium going crazy, man. It came across that screen, So man, shout out to the fans that was coming to the game, man, because it was turned up. It was turned up for sure. We felt that energy, for those of us who couldn't be there. The energy definitely came across that TV. So, all right. So we gonna put this New York series. Man, we didn't put y'all in the grave, put the dirt over it, and we ain't even standing there looking at we ain't standing there looking at it no more. We can look up, man. We see we gotta head out west. We already did our business out east. Yeah, we already ran through Staten Island, Harlem, Brooklyn, right downtown in Manhattan where we landed at, the Statue of Liberty, Madison Square Garden. We didn't been in there. We didn't took that over. That's put to rest. That's shut down. You won't be there no more. They already had the funeral. The funeral was last night, all black. All right, we passed that. Now we go out west. We got our eyes on that Oklahoma City Thunder. Them young boys out there. Now, this series right here, y'all, it's gonna be a matchup. It's gonna be a game. And I don't think it's gonna go down how everybody think it's gonna go down. We ain't going out like we don't know what we doing. We played the Celtics last year. I feel like that was a great test. That's why that's why we at where we at right now, because we had to go against a championship level team already, a team that was forming to be a dynasty, as they were saying last year. They were saying this Celtics team was going to win multiple games. Well, that's what they said, or multiple championships. That's what they say about this OKC team right now. They saying these are the new hot dogs on, that's on the block. They hot right now. They, we can't get past them, but I think we got something in store for them. Big Malk, man. Let me know your initial thoughts on the series, how you see it going. Give me your take.
Man, first off, I hate logging on social media every day because my timeline is full of Pacers, NBA content, and everybody is just OKC. Oh, okay, same thing they've been saying every series. Okay, y'all can't beat the Bucks. Y'all can't beat the Cavs. Y'all can't beat the Knicks. Knicks. Yeah, we gained the Knicks. It's cool. Knicks at 5. We beat them again. Knicks at 6. Knicks at 7. Okay. So what is it? So now it's well, they can get past the Knicks, but they can't do nothing with OKC. Okay. Like it's just like, come on, man. And when you talk about it, man, out of all these teams, out of them Final Four teams, the Pacers have the most, playoff experience. Like, come on now, like the OKC, this is their first run. The New York Knicks, we got them out in the semifinals last year. So it's just like, they're not going to respect us until we go ahead and put OKC away. I think it's going to be a good series, man, but I still give this series to the Pacers. I like OKC's depth. They got the MVP. But just like Brunson tried, it ain't gonna be none of that free throw merchant out there. We just gonna play some good hard defense. You can try to be a free throw merchant, but we're gonna push that pace and we're gonna shoot threes. We're gonna run the score up. I know OKC does the same thing, but we're gonna see who does it at a better level. Now, can Luke Dort, Alec Caruso, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, can these guys really come to play at a championship level? Because I think you've seen it last night, man. Our guys is ready to play at that championship level. Obi Toppin's ready to play. TJ McConnell's ready to go. Benedict Mather's ready to go. So we know what we're going to get out of SGA. And I know they don't have a very superstar centric system out there. I know SGA, we know SGA is going to get his, but can't everybody else get theirs? Do y'all really have that much confidence in Jalen Williams? Is Jalen Williams really like that? Are y'all putting a crown on him already? Chet Holmgren's really not a bucket like that. I mean, I don't know what people think, but he's really not that bucket. He's not like that. I don't know what I mean, he's out there, he plays good defense. He's a 7'2", long body. Isaiah Hartenstein has his little move. He got his little post move. What is it? His little hook floater, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know. I just think that who is checking Williams. We got defense. We got Nimhard, Neesmith. We got defense. I mean, it's gonna be a collective effort. And I think we're gonna see a lot out of game one. And just like I said, every time we go to a new series, the Pacers has to steal game one. And I think once the Pacers come in and steal that game one, that puts the whole world on notice every time. It's like, dang, like because the odds have been stacked up against the Pacers every series. So I I think the Pacers are gonna win the series. I think the Pacers win in the finals this year. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, we can talk about it. We can ask questions why and who and where. Uh, I'm not gonna hate on SGA. I think Jokic was the real MVP. In my opinion, that's my opinion. You can argue with me if you want, but I think Jokic was a real MVP. But like I said a month ago, the best team that had a chance of beating the Pacers, they got knocked out by the Knicks last round. So I think it's our championship to win. But that's just my opinion.
Guru, I'm gonna start you off with this question. Coach Clark got a question. I guess you can. I guess it's a good segue. Who Hallie guard in this series, man? And what's gonna be our keys to victory? How do you see us coming out on top, or what's your finals predictions? Just talk to me, cuz about that. But who you see who Hallie guarding?
Who's guarding Holly, or is it who is he checking during the
Who is he
series?
checking?
Who's he checking? Yeah.
Uh, so you obviously put either Andrew or Aaron on the SGA, or in the vice versa on Jalen Williams. So he can either go Caruso or Dort.
Mm-hmm.
He
Dort. That's what I
he
was
probably go
thinking.
Caruso or Dort. Uh,
Mhm.
And let's not, my
who
bad to
really?
cut you off. Let's not act like Hallie's no slouch on defense. And I'm tired of
Right.
that narrative because, I mean, the boy gets steals. He had, what, 3 steals last game, 3 steals
Oh
against,
yeah, he
like,
gets steals. He gets steals.
yeah, let's not
He
act
can
like
see. Yeah,
Hallie's a slouch on defense. He's a
yeah
6'6"
he gonna get steals.
long guard who can move.
He ain't no Brunson.
He's not Brunson.
No, he's not no Brunson. You can expose Brunson on defense way more. But you asked me who won the finals. What did he say? Okay, so you got a mind me the hardest game, right? Yeah, and we're not gonna be delusional. And I mean, there's a lot of Naptown fans in here, but we like to keep it real over here. For my opinion, I think OKC got him. Just in if you just talk about overall depth. I mean, it's a little bit more in the OKC side with depth. Um, oh, the New York Knicks gonna get any transition buckets, man, all series, and that's what the Pacers push the pace, but OKC push the pace as well. So that transition buckets, they're gonna get some transition buckets, and what they struggle in is offensive boards, man. And I know that with Harkenstein on the floor and with Chet Hogan on the floor, I didn't see Chet Hogan, man, two possessions in a row, get an offensive rebound real quick and tip dunk it over Jokic real quick. So I mean, it's gonna be a problem with the 2 7-footers on the court, and they got young players too coming off the bench. Williams, Carson Wood, Casey Williams, 21-year-old coming in and dunking on boys, hitting threes, finding the right man. You got Dort in them playing, Dort, Caruso coming in, giving you a defensive first mentality. Even if when they play defense, you still got SGA averaging 3 steals a game, along with Jalen Williams averaging 3 steals a game too. So it's gonna be tough defensively. I got OKC, man, and I think OKC finished the Pacers in 5, man. And I'm not trying to be biased towards anything like that. I just OKC's a complete team to me. I got them in 5.
All right, man. I'm gonna go. Let's go matchup by matchup. I think with SGA, I'm putting them hard on him to start it off. Sick 'em, boy. Sick 'em. Go ahead, Nemhard. You know, Nemhard initially. I'm gonna put Neesmith on Williams because Williams is a little bigger. So and Neesmith has a little bit a bigger body. So I'm putting Neesmith on Williams. I'm putting Halliburton on Dort. I'm putting Pascal on Chet, which I think is going to be a good matchup. I think it favors Pascal just
Mhm.
because even though Chet has a height, he's highly skilled. Let's not get it twisted. Chet is no slouch, and he's going to use his height to his advantage. I think Pascal's a little bit stronger. He's a vet. He's built for this, for this series, this environment, this situation. Just because he's already played in championship before, he's already had to guard a Draymond Williams and had Draymond guard him a whole series. Once you have that level of defense on you, you know it's gonna be a tough matchup. Chet is not big. He's not big at all. He's actually skinny, but he's very skilled. You know, the whole team is very skilled. OKC is a nice team. Let's not get it twisted. You know, like Unc said, they are a giant. They do have the MVP, but the Pacers are giant slayers. We've been underrated and doubted every playoff series. Every playoff series, we've been doubted. Let's see. We can't let Alex Caruso expose nobody. Absolutely not. And I believe Miles will have a better series. He will. IQ, do we full court press? As you know, we are.
Absolutely, yes.
We're pressing him 94 feet the whole game, the whole series. We're on him. We are on him.
We inbounding the ball and getting up the court in 3 seconds, so we got a 21-second shot clock to work with in the half court. That's exactly what they're doing.
Coach Clark, let's not forget Mathurin. He has to play more this series over TJ. Absolutely. We need another guard. That's our, that's almost, he should be our sixth man. So the proof is in the pudding. It absolutely is. IQ.
And
Piranhas. Full court. Piranhas, yeah.
Yeah, and TJ gonna play. He definitely gonna get some playing time because I mean you can put TJ McConnell and Benedict Mathurin in the game at the same time, like you seen them with Obi Toppin and going big with small with Obi Toppin, Pascal Siakam. Yeah, when Tyrese is off the court.
And let's not forget our X factor is gonna be on that sideline, Coach Carlisle. Let's not forget about him being he's already a championship coach. He's gonna have us so locked in and so prepared and so focused. Man, we're gonna have a game plan for SGA. That's a fact. We're gonna have a game plan on how to slow him down. Nobody's gonna stop him. He's the MVP. You know, he's gonna be foul baiting. We know that. We know that's his game, and that's not a knock because that's just the way that dudes like to play nowadays. Brunson, we already dealt with him. I never knew Donovan Mitchell was a foul baiter the way he was baiting fouls, but we already went through him. We're used to playing these foul baiting type of guys,
But they give it to him.
They give it to him for sure.
But this is what I'm thinking. Well, just real quick, with the foul baiting and foul merchant stuff, I mean, you can't really say that. I mean, like what I heard Richard Jefferson said, the numbers really don't add up when you look at the stats and compare to his points per game and his free throw attempts per game. The dude's only taking 8 free throw attempts per game, man, and getting 33 points. So if you can say you're free throw merchant, but the numbers just don't add up when you just say you're free throw merchant. That's all I want to say.
I think SCJ, yeah, but he's looking to get to that bucket too. But when I look at the Pascal's going to abuse Chet, he's too freaky on the block. Of course, can't nobody on OKC check Siakam. I agree. Here's my thing too. When I look at OKC, the only thing that I think that they show the Pacers that we haven't really seen is their depth. I think they have the biggest depth. I think the closest depth that we've seen in the series was maybe the Bucks, because I like how Gary Trent Jr. and them guys came off the bench and was lighting it up. But that's the only thing. When you talk about the 2 7-footers, because we've seen that in Mobley and Jared Allen. We've seen the 2 7-footers. We've seen that already. When you talk about the foul merchant, ball dominant, player, we've seen that with Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson. So they understand that. It's like it's not too much different, but you can't just say that SGA doesn't get buckets like Jalen Brunson does. It's almost, or the Donovan Mitchell does. It's almost the same. Like, what's the difference in their buckets? So the only thing that we haven't seen out of these series is the depth. Now, I think Boston last year kind of showed us their depth, but that was last year. I want to keep it this year. I think everything that OKC thinks they can throw at us is stuff that we've seen before. Like you said, the 2 7-footers, we've seen that. The foul merchant, ball dominant guards, we've seen that. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how OKC comes out and how they view the Pacers, because I really want everybody to keep hating and not believing that the Pacers are who we say they are, because they are. And I think the only way that they'll believe in the Pacers is if we win the championship. So I think we got more riding on this than OKC does.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me say this. So the Pacers win this series if what?
If if Pascal Siakam is consistent and keeps his scoring, um, if we play hard defense, Pacers will run it down eventually. Absolutely. Go ahead, Guru. Yeah,
Pacers,
go ahead.
yeah, it has to be, man. It has to start defensively. Like I said, we got to be locked in defensively because everybody has to be clicking. We got to find just not Tyrese Haliburton buckets. We got to get those buckets, like you said, from Thomas Bryant. We got to get those buckets from we got to get Neesmith. We got to come back alive and shoot 50% from three like he was coming in. We got to get those buckets too. But it starts defensively, man. So if we can check them defensively and hold like they defensive pressure, just like they gonna come out defensively and try to get stops and get hyped up off of deflections out of bounds. We just got to stay defensively locked in, and I think that's the key to winning and slow them down in transition too. If we can outpace them, in which they can outpace the Thunder, they can outpace the Thunder. That's what we just got to keep pushing forward, playing fast, up tempo, and try to slow them down in the half court because the Thunder like to get out and run, and that's where they're more effective when they get out and run, just like us too. So if we can slow them down and play defense, they'll be good.
Mm-hmm. I got three factors for the Pacers to win this series. Three key things I believe. If the Pacers do this, we will be NBA Finals champions. Number one key, Tyrese Haliburton has to stay aggressive. You have to be aggressive. You have to be a threat to score. You are our best scorer. You are our best shooter. You are our killer. When Tyrese Haliburton is on and he's aggressive, we are, man, we're unfuckable. Period. You can't mess with us when Tyrese Haliburton is on. We are on a different level. We go how Tyrese goes. So we need him to be aggressive. That's number one. Number one, Tyrese, be aggressive. Number two, guard SGA without fouling, harass him 94 feet. We need to slow him down. I don't believe we're going to stop him. He's that good of a player. He's an MVP. Nobody is stopping SGA. But we have to be aggressive, guard him without fouling, and make him real uncomfortable. We see Minnesota do it for a game, and they had great results. When Minnesota turned it up on defense on him, I believe it was game 4.
Mm-hmm.
It was a completely different game. They came out and it was crazy. They was had energy. They was pressing. They was just tenacious on defense. It turned that game. So we have to play with that same high energy, that same aggressiveness on defense. That's gonna be a key to us getting this done. Number 3, our role players, our bench will have to outplay their role players in their bench. The power of friendship. They deep just like we deep. They're built the same. They come off 4 or 5 deep off their bench. They have a great but our bench is what got us in this position we are in now. Is what's been, keeping us rolling throughout the year. TJ McConnell off the bench, Obi off the bench, automatic mathematic, Ben Mathurin off the bench. We also have this is what's gonna be the problem. Is Tony Bradley gonna be healthy? Will Thomas Bryant perform at the level he performed at this game 6? Will we get that Thomas Bryant throughout the series? Because he was getting big body just, the last few games. So we need our backup big. We need our bench to come through. So that's my 3 keys to victory. Tyrese, be aggressive. Play crazy defense on SGA. And play defense with energy and guard without fouling. He's going to bait you into silly fouls. Do not do silly fouls. Guard with your hands up, with your hands out. Do not let him get up under your hands and don't be jumping. Wait for him to go up. And then thirdly, our bench has to come with it. Our role players have to come with it because their role players are going to come with it as well. So that's my key. That's my 3 keys to us winning this series. And this is me being very biased. This is me using my thought process. I got the Pacers in 6. Pacers in 6. I think we close them out at Cambridge, game 6. I think we hoist that Larry O'Brien trophy. We have more playoff experience. I think we get this thing done. Can't get frustrated guarding SGA. Absolutely not. Can't get frustrated because he is an MVP. We have to stay consistent with him. Hallie has to be consistent. Absolutely. We need Haliburton to be aggressive and be himself the entire time. We know what he's capable of. We need him to play at his highest level, his peak performance, and in order for us to get this done. So that's my thoughts on that series. It's Thursday, 8 p.m. The pageantry is gonna be all this week. It's gonna be a lot of things that try to get us our attention. Not focus on the players' attention. Not focus on what's at hand, but just lock in. If I'm in that locker room, if I'm standing in front of that team, if I'm Coach Carlisle, I'm sitting everybody down. I'm saying, listen here, boys. We got to this point right now. Nobody believed in us. Number 6 seed. Everybody wrote us off that first part of the season. Look at us now. We already didn't win against a giant last year with the Boston Celtics. We learned from our mistakes. We're right back in this position even further. We're here at the NBA Finals. I've coached a championship. 2011, I coached in the finals. I won the finals. I know what that experience feels like. It's going to be the greatest experience ever. Just lock in and stay consistent and be focused. This is going to be a long ride, fellas, but we can get it done. Let's lock in and everybody play their role elitely. Be elite at your role, whatever that is. Be elite at that role. Now's the time. You will forever be an Indiana Pacers legend. Now, what you saying in the locker room? What's your words for the team?
Man, I think you summed it up because exactly. I mean, damn, exactly what you said. It's your name in history, because that love you're gonna get from winning a championship in Indiana is gonna be forever. So your name is gonna be remembered forever. I'm saying, see, I come, you win us a championship, we retire your number, putting your jersey in the rafters. Like, this is major for Indiana. This is super major. Anytime that you see Indiana team on a national level, I think it means more to us than it does to these other players. Like, I mean, you see like, the IU football playing in the college football championship, back in 06, seeing the coach in the Super Bowl like that means a lot to Indiana. So just like Rick Carlisle said last night, in 49 other states is just basketball, but here is law. So go out and make yourself infamous, man. Make yourself, legends, in Indiana, because that's exactly. I mean, y'all already gonna be beloved just off this season, but I don't want that to be enough. I think go ahead and etch your name in history. Because after you win that championship, you could just chill out. What I'm saying? That's how the sports world works now.
Absolutely. And before, as this thing gets closer to that game time, before as this show comes, as this show starts to wrap up, I want to send a big thank you out to Michael Highball Jr. A big thank you out to Troy Williams. If you haven't seen it already, go watch our interview with Troy Williams, former IU legend, former NBA vet. He's playing in TBT this summer. He was actually our first NBA player that we interviewed on this podcast. So I want to just a big thank you out to Troy Williams. Thank you for coming on the podcast and showing love. Thank you, Michael Highball Jr., his second appearance. Thank you for coming and showing us love. Cold game.
Shout out. Yeah.
Go ahead, cuz.
Yeah, but I was gonna say shout out. Yeah, Grace May, Michael Highball Jr. Man, he do a lot. That Troy interview was epic, man. I like what y'all doing on this platform, man. And if I was just to say my pregame speech would be short and sweet. If I was Rick Carlisle's, job not finished. We took a step in the right direction this year as far as getting over that hump, but it's the job not finished. It's just not. And if you need any more motivation, let's just let's just step on that court and throw that ball in the air and let's tip for it and let's get on the court and do it.
Shout out Twine, yeah. Glad you found us, Twine.
Shout out
Go ahead and subscribe. Man.
Whole game.
Cold game.
Four, cold game. First round draft pick.